6 signs that appear a year before the end of life in the elderly. Has someone you love been changing in small, quiet ways over the past year? Many believe that when older people pass, it happens suddenly. But the truth is, the body often gives gentle warnings, months, even a year, before life begins to fade. The signs are subtle at first, easy to miss. Only later do families look back and realize the clues were there all along. In this video, we'll explore 5 important signs that often appear a year before the end of life. Some may seem like ordinary aging. Others might feel too small to notice. But each one is a quiet signal, a chance to prepare to care more deeply and to make the most of the time that remains. By recognizing these signs early, you can help ensure your loved one's final stage is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. So stay with us. These signs can help you prepare, not just practically but emotionally, for what's ahead. Let's begin. Sign 1. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As a person nears the final stages of life, one of the most profound and often heartbreaking changes can be seen in their thinking, communication, and interaction with others. It can begin subtly. You might notice someone who was once sharp, alert, and deeply engaged with the world around them, starting to forget things more often. They might struggle to follow conversations or seem confused in familiar surroundings. Names may slip their mind, or they might lose track of time, even in moments when they never had memory issues before. These are not just simple signs of aging. They are early indicators that cognitive decline is beginning, and this can happen months, even a full year before death. These moments can be disorienting, not just for the individual but for their loved ones too. But what's happening inside the brain during this time? The brain, like any other organ, needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients to function properly. But as the body weakens and circulation slows, the flow of oxygen to the brain decreases. This can cause the brain's function to decline. Memory, decision-making, and the ability to recognize familiar faces or places all become more challenging. Some days, your loved one might have brief moments of lucidity, where they seem like themselves again, only for these moments to be followed by sudden episodes of confusion, almost as if their mind is fading in and out. It's deeply painful to witness, but it's important to recognize that this is not something they can control. It's the body's way of slowing down. Alongside cognitive confusion, another common sign is emotional withdrawal. As the person nears the end of their journey, they may lose interest in social interactions. Conversations become tiring. Loud or busy environments may feel overwhelming. As a result, many individuals retreat into silence, often spending long periods simply sitting quietly or avoiding interaction altogether. This doesn't mean they've stopped caring about their loved ones. Rather, it's that their brain is no longer processing emotions and engagement in the same way. What once felt like a meaningful conversation or a shared moment now feels tiring. The energy to connect may no longer be there. You may also notice changes in their mood and behavior. Some individuals may become more irritable, anxious, or easily frustrated. Others may seem surprisingly calm, detached, or even indifferent to things that once mattered deeply to them. These shifts aren't a sign of a sudden personality change. They are a result of the brain adjusting to the body's decline. As cognitive function slows, expressing and processing emotions becomes more difficult. The person may not react in the same way they once did to situations. For family members, this stage can be especially difficult. Watching a loved one lose touch with reality or pull away emotionally can feel like losing them long before they're actually gone. It can create feelings of grief and helplessness, as if you're losing a part of the person you once knew. But it's important to remember, this is not something they can control. The best thing you can do is meet them where they are. Speak gently, offer reassurance, and understand that even if they can't respond the way they once did, they can still feel your presence. Your love and comfort still matter, even when words seem to fade. If you notice a loved one becoming more forgetful, more confused, or less engaged, don't ignore it. These are often early signs that both the body and mind are preparing for the final transition. This is the time to be patient, to cherish quiet moments, and to create an environment that feels safe, familiar, and peaceful. Because even when words are difficult to find, love and comfort can still be felt, deeply, quietly, and with warmth. Sign 2. Emotional and spiritual changes, a quiet transformation. As the body begins to slow down and prepare for its final stage, there are often profound emotional and spiritual changes that take place. These shifts may not be as immediately visible as physical signs, but they are just as important to recognize, as they provide deep insight into how your loved one is experiencing their final days. You may notice that your loved one becomes more reflective or begins to focus more on their past experiences, memories, and relationships. They might talk more about their life, their childhood, their family, or their faith. This can sometimes come in the form of quiet moments of introspection, or even in conversations where they revisit key moments or relationships that shaped them. It's not uncommon for individuals nearing the end of life to become more spiritually aware. For some, this might mean they find themselves drawing closer to their faith, praying more, seeking comfort in religious rituals, or talking about their beliefs and what happens after death. For others, they may express a sense of peace or acceptance that they haven't shown before. These emotional shifts can be accompanied by a sense of letting go, as they come to terms with the journey ahead. They may express a desire to make peace with loved ones, or even reconcile past hurts or unresolved issues. This emotional and spiritual transformation can sometimes lead to emotional withdrawal as well. While many people become more reflective, others may choose to spend more time alone, in silence, as they process their thoughts and emotions. This withdrawal is not a sign of detachment from loved ones. It's often the soul's way of finding a place of quiet and peace, preparing itself for the transition ahead. Feelings of peace, nostalgia, or even acceptance can emerge, and it's important for families to honor these emotional moments, whether they are verbal or quiet. It's natural to want to comfort them, to try and ease their worries, but sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply be present. Sit with them in silence, hold their hand, and offer a comforting touch. These moments of presence are often more meaningful than any words. Another important aspect of emotional change during this time is the desire for connection. Your loved one may begin to reach out for deeper conversations, to say goodbye, or to share wisdom or wishes for the future. Some may want to gather their family around them, or revisit important places or rituals that have meaning to them. Others may be seeking a sense of closure or resolution about their life, relationships, or legacy. While these changes can be emotional for families, they also provide an opportunity for deeper connection and meaningful conversations in the final months or weeks. It's a chance to celebrate their life, reminisce together, and express love and appreciation. For many, this time is not just about physical care but about offering emotional and spiritual support, allowing your loved one to feel understood and at peace as they approach the end. As a family member, being open to their emotional and spiritual needs can create an environment of compassion and comfort. It's essential to let your loved one express their feelings, their fears, and their hopes, knowing that you are there to walk beside them on this quiet but important journey. Recognizing and honoring these emotional and spiritual shifts allows you to provide not just care, but deep connection. It enables you to create a space where they can feel at peace with both their past and future. And perhaps most importantly, it offers them the comfort of knowing that in their final days, they are loved, honored, and never alone. If you're still with me and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Now let's move on to the next sign. Sign 3. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins its natural process of winding down, one of the clearest physical signs is the weakening of the immune system. You may start to notice that someone who rarely got sick before now seems to catch every cold, every flu, or every small infection that goes around. Minor illnesses that once would have been a short-lived inconvenience now take much longer to recover from. Even a small cut or bruise seems to heal at a noticeably slower rate. These changes aren't random. They are clear signs that the body is no longer able to defend and repair itself the way it once did. When the immune system weakens, infections that were once easily fought off become more frequent and more difficult to treat. One of the biggest concerns is repeated infections. Conditions like pneumonia, urinary tract infections, UTIs, skin infections, and even oral infections become much more common. Families may assume these are just isolated illnesses, but when they start happening repeatedly or take longer than usual to clear up, it's often a signal that the body is losing its ability to fight back effectively. Even antibiotics, medications that once worked quickly, may seem less effective. The person may need stronger medications, longer recovery periods, or multiple rounds of treatment for infections that would have been relatively minor in the past. This happens because as circulation slows and organ function declines, the body's response to treatment becomes less efficient. Healing takes longer, and the immune system becomes less capable of mounting a strong defense. Another overlooked issue in this stage is chronic wounds. If you notice that small scratches, sores, or bruises aren't healing properly, or if they keep reopening, it could be a sign that circulation is compromised. Poor blood flow means that oxygen and nutrients are not reaching the skin and tissues as efficiently, which slows down the healing process significantly. For people who are less mobile, pressure sores become a serious concern, as they can lead to dangerous infections if not managed with care and attention. What's even more concerning is that infections in the final year of life often don't show up the way we expect. Instead of a high fever or a clear sign of illness, the person may simply seem more tired than usual, more confused, or less interested in eating. In fact, for many seniors, a sudden decline in mental alertness is often the first warning sign of an infection, sometimes even before other physical symptoms appear. Recognizing these subtle changes early is crucial because it can make all the difference in how much comfort and support your loved one receives in their final stage of life. It's easy to get frustrated or heartbroken when a loved one seems to be going through one infection after another. You might be tempted to push for aggressive treatments, hoping that one more round of antibiotics or another hospital stay will fix the problem. But at a certain point, the focus often shifts from curing to comforting. Ensuring that your loved one stays hydrated, that their skin is clean and moisturized, and that you minimize stress on their body can be much more beneficial to their well-being than another round of medications that might only prolong suffering. Comfort becomes the priority, not just physical but emotional as well. Sign 4: major changes in breathing or circulation. Major changes in breathing or circulation. One of the most telling signs that the body is preparing for its final stage is a noticeable change in breathing patterns and circulation. If you're caring for an elderly loved one, you might begin to notice subtle shifts in their breath and overall circulation, which over time become more pronounced. You may observe that your loved one breathes more slowly or shallowly than they did before. Sometimes they might even pause between breaths, or their breathing might become irregular, speeding up and slowing down unexpectedly. Some individuals experience a gentle rhythmic breathing pattern known as Cheyne-Stokes respiration, where their breathing alternates between deep, rapid breaths followed by long pauses. These changes often start subtly but grow more frequent and more pronounced as the body begins to prepare for its final moments. Another common sign of this transition is weakened circulation. You might notice that their hands, feet, or even their nose and ears start to feel unusually cold to the touch. The skin might also appear pale, or sometimes bluish or mottled, especially around the fingers and toes. This occurs because the body is prioritizing blood flow to the vital organs, such as the heart, brain, and lungs, while reducing circulation to the extremities. It's a clear indicator that the heart is no longer pumping with the same strength as before. Some people may also experience more shortness of breath, even with minimal activity. Simply sitting up, speaking, or shifting positions might cause them to feel winded or out of breath. You might notice them breathing through their mouth more often or needing to pause to catch their breath while speaking. If they were once able to walk across the room with ease but now struggle to do so, this is a sign that their lung function may be declining. In some cases, fluid buildup in the lungs can make breathing even more difficult. This can lead to a persistent cough, gurgling sounds in their chest, or even a feeling of tightness in the chest. While many may assume this is simply congestion from a cold, for elderly individuals nearing the end of life, it's often a sign that the lungs are weakening. This can make lying flat uncomfortable, and they may prefer to sleep propped up on pillows or even in a recliner, as this position can help ease their breathing. For family members, witnessing these changes can be frightening. It's natural to want to help, to encourage them to take deeper breaths, or to worry that something urgent is happening. But in many cases, This is simply the body's natural way of slowing down as it prepares for its final transition. There may not always be a way to reverse these changes, but there are ways to make your loved one more comfortable. Creating a comfortable environment can help ease their discomfort. Keeping the room cool, using a humidifier, or offering small sips of water can provide relief in some cases. For those experiencing more significant difficulty, medications or oxygen therapy may be prescribed to help ease breathing. However, the focus should gradually shift from trying to fix the issue to ensuring comfort. If you notice signs such as changes in breathing, cold hands and feet, or a bluish tint to the skin, it's important to pay attention. These are often indicators that the body is conserving energy and that circulation is slowing down. It's a reminder to be present, offer reassurance, and create a peaceful environment where they feel safe and at ease during these final months or weeks. In this stage, the most important thing you can offer isn't medical intervention. It's comfort, dignity, and the knowledge that your loved one is not alone. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs and inspires you. Now let's move on to the next sign. Sign 5. Extreme fatigue and weakness. As we move through the final stages of life, one of the most noticeable and often heart-wrenching changes is persistent, overwhelming fatigue. This isn't just the kind of tiredness that comes after a busy day, it's a deep exhaustion that doesn't go away no matter how much rest a person gets. Imagine a loved one who once moved through life with ease, walking, talking, cooking, and engaging in conversations without a second thought, suddenly finding that even the simplest tasks feel monumental. Getting out of bed becomes a challenge. Walking across the room takes a noticeable effort. The everyday activities that once brought comfort, like getting dressed or even speaking, start to feel draining and impossible. This kind of fatigue isn't just a natural part of aging. It's the body's way of signaling that it's conserving its energy for what's most essential. As the body prepares for its final stage, many of its systems begin to slow down. The heart doesn't pump as efficiently anymore. Circulation weakens, and muscles don't receive the oxygen they need for sustained activity. This slowing down means that someone in their final months may feel increasingly weak, unsteady, and unable to do the things they once enjoyed, things that were once effortless like a stroll in the park, tending the garden, or even holding a conversation. Another factor contributing to this fatigue is metabolic slowdown. The body is designed to produce energy for movement and activity, but when it starts preparing for the end of life, it redirects that energy. Instead of fueling movement, the body begins to focus on preservation. This shift can mean longer sleep, more naps during the day, and difficulty staying awake for extended periods. Some individuals may experience sudden, unpredictable drops in energy. One moment they seem fine, and the next they're completely drained. But perhaps the most painful aspect of this change is the emotional toll that accompanies it. Many elderly individuals who once prided themselves on their independence begin to feel frustrated, even embarrassed, by their inability to do what they once could. It's heartbreaking to see them withdraw, not because they don't care, but because they simply don't have the strength anymore. This withdrawal can lead to a cycle of isolation, where they stop engaging with others, stop trying to participate in their usual activities or hobbies. The desire to connect with loved ones may still be there, but the energy to do so just isn't. Over time, this isolation can worsen the fatigue, leading to a further decline. For families, watching a loved one go from being active and engaged to exhausted and withdrawn can be an incredibly painful experience. It's easy to think they just need to push through it or that they're being lazy. But the truth is, forcing activity won't help. What matters most is understanding and respecting their limits and giving them the space to rest when needed. Allow them to take naps, to stop if they're too tired, and focus on their comfort and peace. If you notice that your loved one is experiencing deep, ongoing fatigue that isn't relieved by rest, it's crucial to recognize that this is a sign their body is going through a major transition. This is a time to cherish moments of connection, to create peaceful environments, and to support them without any expectations of productivity. Because in the end, what truly matters isn't how much they can still do, it's that they feel loved, understood, and at ease in the time they have left. Sign 6. Noticeable and unexplained weight loss. One of the earliest, and often most overlooked, signs that a loved one may be entering the final chapter of their life is unintentional weight loss. At first, it may seem like nothing. A favorite pair of trousers suddenly feels too loose, or a belt needs one more notch tightened. Maybe they leave a bit more food on their plate or say, "I'm just not that hungry today." These changes can appear so subtly, so gradually, that they're easy to brush aside. Many families do. After all, we tend to think, that's just part of getting older. But the truth is, when someone begins losing weight without trying, it's often a sign of something deeper taking place within the body. As we age, it's normal to lose a bit of muscle or experience slight appetite changes. But when weight loss becomes steady or significant, it can indicate that the body is no longer processing nutrients as it once did. The systems that once absorbed food, converted it to strength, and fueled daily movement begin to slow down. Muscles shrink. Energy fades. Even the body's ability to fight off infection may begin to weaken. There are several reasons this happens. The digestive system may no longer be absorbing nutrients efficiently. The ability to process protein, so vital for maintaining strength, can decline. Underlying medical conditions such as heart failure, kidney disease, or cancer may begin progressing quietly in the background, long before louder symptoms emerge. Even emotional or cognitive changes, like depression or early dementia, can lead to a gradual loss of interest in food. Then there's the role of appetite itself. Many older adults report that they simply don't feel hungry anymore. Foods they once enjoyed now taste bland or unappealing. The smell of a favorite dish doesn't stir excitement the way it used to. This isn't just about preference, it's a physiological shift. The body, as it nears the end of its journey, begins to shut down certain signals. Hunger is one of them. Families often respond with love and concern, preparing favorite meals, encouraging more bites, adding protein drinks or snacks. And sometimes that helps. But if the weight continues to drop despite best efforts, it's important to recognize that this may not be about the food anymore. It may be the body's way of preparing for a deeper transition. At this stage, comfort matters more than calories. Rather than pushing large meals, focus on small, nourishing bites, soft foods, hydration, and a peaceful environment during meals. Eating should remain a moment of care and connection, not a battle. If your loved one is losing weight, seems weaker, or no longer enjoys food as they once did, don't ignore it. It's not just about appearance. It's a message. And like all messages from the body, it deserves to be heard with gentleness, curiosity, and compassion. Recognizing this early gives you the chance to respond, not with fear but with presence. With choices that prioritize dignity, comfort, and the richness of time still left. Because even in the face of decline, love can still be nourishing. Final thoughts. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with a reminder. The final stages of life are not just about the physical changes we see. They are about the quiet shifts that happen within, changes in how our loved ones breathe, feel, and connect with us on a deeper, more spiritual level. These signs, while challenging and often heartbreaking to witness, are also an invitation to offer something immeasurably valuable: our presence. The quiet strength we provide in these moments speaks volumes. It's in the gentle touch, the quiet conversation, the time spent simply being together in comfort and understanding. If you notice these signs in someone you love, don't be afraid to acknowledge them. Don't shy away from the difficult conversations, from providing comfort instead of solutions, from letting your loved one know they are not alone. You are offering them a priceless gift by walking this path with them. Embrace the journey with compassion, as it's in these moments that we find the true meaning of connection and care. The most important thing you can give during this time is love, dignity, and peace. These are not just the final gifts we offer to others, they are the ultimate expression of life itself. In each breath, in each word, in each quiet moment shared, you are giving them the greatest comfort possible. As you move forward in caring for your loved one, remember that the focus is not on fixing, but on providing a peaceful presence. And as you offer that, you too will find that these moments are rich with meaning, love, and understanding. Thank you for taking the time to be present in this space, to learn and reflect on what's truly important. Your care and attention are an act of profound love. May you continue to walk this path with grace, knowing that you are not alone, and that every moment of connection you create is filled with immeasurable worth. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and reflect on these important signs and insights. If you found this information helpful, please like and share this video with others who may benefit from it. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content that can inspire, inform, and support you and your loved ones on this journey. Remember, the most important thing you can give to those you love, especially in their final stages of life, is your presence. A loving, comforting, and compassionate presence. Let's continue to support each other through these challenging times. Feel free to leave your thoughts or any questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for being part of this community. You're not alone. Together we can make these moments meaningful and full of love. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.